Australia's famous for its dusty outback. But even more of Australia lies underwater than above. The oceans that surround our island continent are vast. And a massive industry's been built on this extraordinary marine resource that feeds Australia and the world.
I'm Andrew Ettinghausen. I've caught fish on hook and line all around Australia, and I love my fishing. But what if what you catch is your livelihood, where the risks and the rewards could make or break you? But coming home empty-handed just isn't an option. What does it take to make it as a commercial fisherman in a country known for its rough seas and tough people? Well, I'm about to find out.
I'll travel to slippery, slimy and smelly ports across the country and work alongside men and women in industries that are definitely not for sissies.
I'm going to get my feet wet and my hands dirty to find out why people risk it all on a daily basis. It's big risk, it's big bucks, and it's loads of action. Time for me to be a fish out of water as I take on Australia's saltwater heroes. This is the mighty Southern Ocean, where the tuna roam. The wind blows here all the time. The seas can get so rough, they keep even the toughest fishermen in port.
While I'm here in South Australia, I'll be heading out to our ocean farms to be part of a bluefin tuna feeding frenzy. I'll work in waist-deep water, hauling the world's best and biggest oysters. I'll chase elusive garfish across the stunning waters of the Spencer Gulf. But first, it's a 6 a.m. start with the men of the Southern Crab Boats here in Port Adelaide.
Dennis Holder and his crew are taking me to do battle with an armour-covered, razor-clawed creature with a mean streak, the blue swimmer crab. Andrew, welcome aboard.
With his custom-built boat, Dennis runs the biggest crabbing outfit in these waters. He's been doing the job for almost 30 years and wouldn't trade it for anything else.
What a nice machine to go to work on.
Pretty good, eh? Not a bad office.
Yeah, no, beautiful.
Blue swimmer crabs were originally caught as incidental bycatch, but 30 years later, the first blue swimmer crab industry emerged. There's now more than 600 crab boats operating around the country. Around Port Adelaide, the industry's worth $5.2 million a year. I've been a recreational fisher for 30 years and have travelled the length and breadth of Australia, netting almost every fish under the sun.
That is a jumping fish.
But this is a totally different kettle of fish altogether. In this case, crabs. To find out just what it takes to get these crabs from the ocean to the table, I've volunteered to be the new decky. And our first pot is just 3 miles through the breakwater.
We're just about on the first pot. Here comes the first one, Andrew.
To meet demand, Dennis designed his boat for speed and efficiency, but it's still hard toil. The boys must find, process and reset 168 traps in just 6 hours. They need at least 700 kilograms of crabs today to put money in their pockets.
As you can see, it's fairly frantic.
Wow, it's a fast pace. Now, normally I'm on a boat, I've got a rod and reel, so no machinery around and I can see everything that's happening, but it's happening at such a pace. They've done it before a few times. You can just see how professional they are. Woof.
I love a good challenge, so I opt for the most dangerous job on the boat. A decky is preparing to dump freshly baited pots into the Gulf.
Always keep the rope on that side of you.
Okay.
If it gets behind you,
Yep.
when the next pot goes, you're going to go as well, and we don't need that.
Okay.
So,
I don't want to go
yeah, so always always, rule of thumb, stand on this side of the road.
Okay.
Keep an eye on what's going on, and if something goes wrong, yell out.
Talk about jumping into the deep end.
Good luck.
No time to muck around. With these ropes flying, I could get dragged off the back in a hot second.
Don't want to go near that. That's scary, eh? As you can see, I'm doing a bit of a hosing job on the back deck here. As each of the pots go blasting off into the water, and they'll stay overnight, and the boys will collect these tomorrow. It's just amazing they can catch so many crabs. They can catch up to 600 plus kilo today. Tomorrow they'll be out here again catching another 600 plus. And it just shows you how much life is down there. The habitat for these blue swimmer crabs is just ideal.
As the traps go blasting off the back of the boat, they sink to the sandy bottom. Crabs have chemoreceptors or smell organs throughout their body. These receptors are so sensitive, crabs can detect one particle of bait in a quadrillion of water. That's better even than a shark. Any crabs in the neighbourhood are drawn into the trap. At the front of the boat, the crew are hard at work hauling in yesterday's traps, chock full of crabs. It may be safer, but I don't think it's going to be any easier. Time to give it a go, I reckon.
All right, so here, this one here.
Get that one there, yep.
Just lower forward. Grab it here and what?
Jerk it off.
How's that?
The shaker knocks the crabs out of the nets into a tank of ice water below. It's the start of the cold chain and makes the crabs doughy and calm.
Yep, jump out there.
Yep, spin him around.
So, all right.
Bait tube out there.
Yeah. And that's the slow way of doing it. A bit like me, the way I dance, not real good.
He's not doing too bad, you know. I reckon he'll scrub up all right at the end of the day.
Yeah, I reckon this part of it's quite physical. And I'm already puffing, so these boys are reasonably fit. Actually very fit. Up to there. Yeah, a couple of hundred to go.
Now the next job's sorting. This is where things could get painful.
He's a feisty fella.
The crew sort every crab by hand. I've got to measure the crabs across the widest part of their shell, known as the carapace.
So he's a D.
He's a D. So D's going the end.
Like a B, C, D, E.
Okay.
You've got to be fast, accurate, and have a good memory.
Oh, look at that one. That's a monster. Yeah, you wouldn't want your fingers in there, let me tell you. Fortunately, he's been in that ice bath and it really does quieten him down. But that one there, yeah, giant crab. Off the Richter scale, that one.
As far as sustainability goes, this is where it counts. All undersize and female crabs with eggs are put back. This way, they'll ensure the next generation.
Yeah, these are just two different females at different periods of their egg mass.
Okay, so the yellow's all the yolk?
Yellow's all yolk.
Right.
The browner they go and they'll go jet black almost. That's when
You ready to drop them?
ready to drop it.
Okay.
We're looking probably 1 3/4 eggs out of these two crabs.
Wow, that's really worthwhile keeping those females in the water.
Yep, we'll put her in the water slide so she can go back in the water and just think, well, what sort of a trip have I been on?
Exactly. What happened there?
Yeah.
God, they're mounting up.
Yeah, better pull your finger out, Andrew. A bit more
deep.
work, a little bit less work.
As we motor to the next pot line, we get the bait tubes ready.
Don't have a tube full so it can actually slop around.
Yep.
You got a tube full.
Yeah, it won't be able to move and it won't be... Absolutely.
It'll eliminate the smell.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Great burley.
Oh, it is excellent.
Great burley.
During the workday, the boat never stops and never anchors. There's a never-ending list of jobs to complete.
definitely not sitting around. The boat's moving all the time and the blokes on board are thinking ahead all the time as well. It's an ongoing thing. You don't want to let any part of the process slip.
And they even cooked some of the crabs on board.
These ones here, just sorting out and just putting them into these boxes, which are going to head off to the Sydney fish market. So all you Sydney-siders, this is where your crabs are coming from.
Feisty crabs and a boatload of work. These guys put in the hard yards to bring these crabs to market.
So here we are, gentlemen. Andrew, this is the best part of the day. Your job is to do an official taste and give us a tick of approval.
Right, I'm happy to do that one. Absolutely, yeah, spot on.
Pop the back off, take that bit off, split him in half. There we go, we've got a drumstick of crab for you.
I don't think you can get any fresher than this. Wow, that is good.
One taste of these crabs coming from some of the cleanest waters on Earth, and I've got to say, it's worth the effort.
Beautiful. I love blue swimmer crab.
Next up, it's an air-sea feeding frenzy.
This is Port Lincoln, perched on the edge of an agricultural breadbasket. It's also one of the biggest fishing ports in the southern hemisphere.
And it's all thanks to this, the southern bluefin tuna. Shaped like a bullet, it's one of the fastest fish in the ocean. It's also one of the most highly prized. These open ocean predators are a $100 million industry in Australia, and 98% of them are farmed from right here near Port Lincoln. Today, I'm heading to a tuna farm to see the industry in action, and this is my ride.
G'day.
How are you, mate?
Con, is it?
Yeah, Con.
How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Glad you're here.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Every day, come hell or rough water, local boy Con Carabarites and his crew make the 12 nautical mile journey through open water to the tuna farms. Their job, feed this deck full of pilchards to thousands of hungry tuna.
This is the daily routine.
Daily routine Groundhog Day, mate.
Groundhog Day, yeah, but a nice Groundhog Day today.
That's right.
That's
when
it.
people ask you what day it is, you say someday.
One of those days.
An individual bluefin tuna can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here in Australia, the bluefin tuna industry is worth over $100 million annually. 98% of the catch is exported overseas, almost all to Japan. As we approach the farm, I get my first view of the giant tuna pens. These pens are composed of huge enclosed nets, 18 metres deep and 45 metres in diameter, suspended from a plastic ring. Inside, thousands of wild-caught tuna remain for 6 months, until they're fattened up, ready for harvest.
Andrew, we're here, mate. Here's your gear. Chuck them on. Put a hard hat on, mate.
Hard hat.
Get ready to do some work.
At this point, it looks more like construction work than fishing.
What we want to do when the crane driver's ready,
Yep.
he'll release this off this rope.
Okay.
I need to hook it up to this part of the quick release.
Yep.
Keep your eyes on everything, mate, okay? So we don't want you to get hit or anything like that by the crane or the hook.
Absolutely.
It's 1 tonne?
1 tonne.
1 tonne, so you don't want to get hit by it and you don't want to
1 tonne
stand
of pillies.
underneath, just
All
in
right.
case.
Sweet as.
How do you reckon you're going to go?
All right. As long as I ain't going in the head with this.
Okay, so just get the hook.
Righto, boys.
Mate, use the length of rope, that way you're out of danger. Don't have too much control once she goes up and starts swinging around. That's it, pull it now.
Right.
Tuna farming can be a major gamble with huge upfront costs. Con and his team have just 6 months to double the tuna's weight to maximise profits. Get it wrong, and a season's profit can easily spiral into the red.
Right, now guide the pallet on. Come in closer, you can let that go.
Yep.
Come and grab the pallet. And that's ready for the next one.
It's not all that different from what cattle and sheep farmers do on land, except they don't have to swing a ton of pillies into a feeding cage.
That's it, pull it now.
Right. It's very dangerous. You got chains and you got massive amounts of pilchards there. You got a ton of pillies, but you also got all of these crates and a lot of hard objects all around, even the sides. You know, I can just see my hands getting crushed at any time.
As the frozen blocks of pilchards sit in the feeding cage, they slowly defrost and release into the water. The tuna are ferocious feeders. Their enormous appetite fuels their fast growth rate.
They're quite big fish in here. How big do you grow them out to?
We get about 100 grams of growth a day. We'll get these fish up to about 30, 32 kilos, you know. Wow. So it's exceptional growth rates, really fast.
You do this twice a day?
It is physical work, you know, it is pretty hard, but you don't get bored of it, you know. It's great to see every day.
With 800 well-fed tuna in this pen, we move on to the next.
Thousands of birds, just incredible. You know, it's a daily event for these guys, but for me, yeah, thousands of seabirds, all different types as well, from seagulls to mutton birds to all sorts of, yeah, just birds everywhere you look. Quite amazing, and obviously they're coming in for an easy feed. Crazy.
Our next pen's even bigger. Here, 3,000 hungry tuna are waiting for their tucker.
Your next job is to shovel
Oh my God.
all of this into this cage. Don't worry, there's another 3 behind you to do as well. Grab a
This will
shovel
come
and
off.
into it.
Thanks, boys. Look at that. This is crazy.
I'm about 30 kilometres off the Port Lincoln coast in South Australia with tuna farmer Con Carabarides and his crew. Destined for the quality-conscious Japanese market, at the moment I'm feeding 3,000 tuna their tucker. By hand. It's a breathtaking sight.
Such a streamlined animal. They move around like they hardly even move their tail. They just glide around the pen, isn't it? They're a beautiful creature, mate.
But the seabirds are a bit of a problem. They're fast and target the bait with pinpoint accuracy. Left unnoticed, this would soon become a bird feeding, not a fish feeding operation.
So how many of these do you actually lose to the birds? Because they're
We probably look around 3%, you know, when we're doing this, but generally we'll attack them with the deck hoses and we'll throw a bit of a float around just to try and scare them off.
wow, that's amazing.
It's breeding season for these shearwaters. With hungry young to feed, they have a voracious appetite. They can dive down 10 metres, flying in the water just like in the air. The boys work hard scaring the birds just to keep the loss of bait to a minimum. This is hard yakka, but around here, everyone pitches in to get the work done.
Right, time to rip this jacket off, I think.
Everywhere I go, I seem to start with a jacket on, and then after the instruction, the jacket comes off pretty quick.
After doing this for a while, I've got to ask the obvious question. Why am I doing this by hand?
This is actually a really good gauge to see how your fish are eating. Okay. So you like to do this as often as you can.
Yeah.
Because you can actually see when they start slowing down on their feet.
Yeah, okay.
And then you'll get it back to a rate and go, okay, I'm on track or
Yeah.
I'm off target.
Yep, yep. So this gives you your best feeler.
It's a good management tool. And the fresh bait, like, you know, you can't get better than a fresh bait.
Yeah.
For the Japanese buyers, only the best will do. They send out specialists twice a year to examine the fish. If the fish are not up to scratch, they'll delay the harvest. This fresh bait contains all the nutrients the fish need without using dry pellets. No pressure then, I'd better keep on shoveling.
Keep you fit.
It certainly does.
With huge amounts of pilchards hitting the water, the scent attracts some other underwater hopefuls. Just like the birds, the dolphins are here for an easy feed. And sharks are also known to cruise by.
Mate, I've seen the boys just running around this pipe on the outside. It must be slippery. You certainly wouldn't want to fall in this side because there'd be some great whites.
True that, yeah. No, they're generally kicking around here and there, but it's a bit of an art to run around there, mate. You know, you get used to it.
Yeah, I saw them hanging on. They seem to be doing it so casually.
I fell in one time and I got out and I was still dry.
Well, you must have been moving quick.
Bit of panic there.
Yeah, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
You know, the obvious, really. You know, let's get out of here.
The old Jaws theme came through the head.
The music was playing.
Just insane here. The guys all look like they're having a good time, although they are shoveling out of the bin, which is hard work. But yeah, coming out here every day, I don't think they ever get sick of feeding these fish. Just the action and just to see all the white water come up after the fish explodes on the water. They're an impressive fish. And what an impressive setting here. Just incredible.
This day has been a real eye-opener. I'm glad we were here on a calm day. I can't imagine what it would be like to swing those feed blocks around in a swell. And to think, these boys come out here 7 days a week in all sorts of weather. True saltwater heroes, I reckon. Next, I'm told hauling oysters is one of the toughest jobs out there. And I experience the fast and furious side of fishing, hunting for garfish. My next challenge takes me from one of the fastest animals in the sea, tuna, to what I guess is one of the slowest, oysters. And they're found here in the beautiful waters of Coffin Bay. There are 40 farms in Coffin Bay pumping out a staggering 32 million oysters a year. It's big business worth nearly $40 million a year. Not bad for a town with a population of just 700. Oysters from here end up in raw bars from Sydney to Singapore, Shanghai and Hong Kong. Now, I usually fish for things that swim fast and fight hard. But there's a guy here who says he's got a job for me that's tougher than fighting any fish. We'll see.
New employee.
Yeah, I am a new employee, I know, that's it.
Meet Lester Marshall. He once dreamed of being a fisherman, but seasickness stopped him from making a living on the waves. Instead, he found a living closer to shore as an oyster farmer. And he's never looked back.
All right, well, we better come down and meet the rest of the team.
Sounds good.
The day always starts in the den, where the team get their kit on.
This is your wetsuit. We want to see you in this.
No
we want to see a
worries.
bit of speed, a bit of commitment, a bit of guts and determination.
I'll do my best. Gosh, sounds like a footy catch.
She's had a bit of wear and tear, as you can see. Shark
bites,
bites, stingray spikes.
Right.
Just what you need.
I didn't know I was getting in the water. I thought all this stuff happened, out of the boat. I'm going in the deep end. Yeah. Okay. Wetsuit.
I'm working with a team of 5 tried and tested oyster wranglers.
Time to get dressed for the ball, hey?
Now stick a bunch of salties in a room and you're going to get some fishy tales.
There are sharks. Pity we haven't got some sunshine. You can't see the sharks coming when it's overcast. Lester's actually been bitten by a shark, so he tells us, but he tells us lots of stories. As you can see, a couple of close calls.
I got a feeling the new bloke's in for a tough day with this mob. A tractor pulls the oyster boat to the edge of the bay. Later, when the decks are stacked with harvested oysters, it'll be towed right back to the factory door.
It's a beautiful stretch of water here. Wow. Incredible.
Here at the bottom of the peninsula, the water is calm and free of pollution.
We all love it because we've got access to a natural environment with very few people. There's beaches here with no footprints on them anywhere, so we're very blessed in that respect.
Oh, dolphin right here. Look at that. Wow.
There we
Now,
go.
this place is amazing. At a regular side?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep,
There he is. Look, right beside the bay.
Fantastic.
Soon we arrive at the oyster farms. Here, independent growers like Lester lease sites in different locations. It's a huge area. How many of these guys are we going to have to harvest?
Jenny, do you want to sit up in the cabin and just keep an eye out for sharks?
Very good.
Oyster farmer Lester Marshall has quite literally thrown me in the deep end. Oysters mature in baskets suspended between wooden posts. These oysters have been out here for 10 to 12 months. Lester's on quality control.
Oh, just flatten it off. See that there? Absolutely beautiful. You want to try that?
Oh, that's good. I reckon these ones are right for the table.
Coffin Bay oysters are renowned for their unique flavour. And there's one ingredient that gives them their world-famous taste. It's the stuff that makes the water green. Algae, or as they say here, oyster tucker. Fed by the nutrient-rich upwellings from the nearby continental shelf, Coffin Bay is full of algae. With plenty of food, the oysters grow fast and taste great.
I've learnt you've got to shake them down on the bottom to get them to close up with salt water in there. So it obviously keeps them in a healthier state.
Four more.
There's such a demand for these guys that Lester can barely keep up. I'd better get a move on.
I'm going to step back over here. This is no good.
This is hard work. So how many's that you got there?
That's nearly a tonne there of oysters.
Okay.
Another half tonne of oysters, and we head back to land with our load worth about $10,000. Here the oysters are prepared before they're shipped out.
So all orders have got to be completed, shrink wrapped, labelled, on the truck and over to Coffin Bay by 5 o'clock. So we've got 3 hours.
First, I've got to inspect the oysters and get rid of any dead ones.
This is pretty crazy. This is what I'm after, these guys here. Obviously useless on the market. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And if they're laying flat, it's very hard to tell. You've got to keep on turning them and twisting them around to have a good look. There's another one there.
Next, a conveyor takes the oyster through a washing and cleaning station. And then into the grading machine, where each oyster is scanned and analysed. As the oysters move through the machine, a puff of air shoots the oyster down a chute according to their grade.
Wow. Andrew. Mush, mush. Okay, so lift that up. Lift that up. Yep. And then take it off there.
The graded oysters are caught in sacks on the outside of the machine.
Back to the ground is there. It's there.
I've got to swap the bags over in just seconds.
Too slow. Too slow.
Not that I know what I'm doing, but I'm too slow.
Up and press that.
Right,
And
okay, so they're all queued up in the back.
That's right. 50 or something will queue up in the back there. Probably 20, 30 seconds to change the bag
quick.
over.
Yep.
So that's all right. We'll forgive you this time.
Okay, okay.
So reset it. Re-go again.
It gets worse. While the bags are filling, I have to sew the full ones closed.
So the tagging, that's got to go in here?
Yeah, just hold it to the top of the bag like that. That should
Yep.
catch it.
Oh, I've stuffed up. Terrible sew of me. Absolutely atrocious. I went along the inside, around the top.
You'll get the knack of it. No?
Andrew.
How quick am I going to be?
Take off this front one.
Oh, this one through?
This is intense.
Oh, done it again, done it again.
Press the button.
Yep.
How many jobs have I got?
We're right up against our 5 o'clock deadline, and I've still got to crate these guys.
That's it. Yep, that's good. One on this corner here. Yep. Put one in the middle.
Tell you what, I'll sleep well tonight. I'll either be Hong Kong or
Yeah, Shanghai. I think.
Shanghai, yeah? Fantastic.
We've done it. We've beat the clock. The oysters are ready for shipment.
So here, buddy, here's your wages for the day.
Oh, thanks for that. Magnificent. This is the dearest oyster on planet Earth.
Oi! You're like a bloody seagull.
No way it was hitting the deck. Beautiful.
Next, I'm in the Spencer Gulf to experience the fast and furious world of net fishing. I'm in Port Pirie in South Australia, and I'm going to meet Shannon Gill, who practices the dying art of net fishing.
I've never really understood how sustainable this type of fishing can be, and so a lot of questions in my head hopefully are going to be answered today.
When I arrive, Shannon's already in the water, ready to go.
G'day.
How are you going?
Nice to meet you finally.
You too.
Shannon is only one of 35 net fishers in South Australia, and the only woman. Together with her decky Shane, she's taking me to catch garfish, a long needle-nosed fish that feeds on the seagrass of the Spencer Gulf. Spencer Gulf is one of the main garfish hotspots in Australia. 250 tonnes are caught in South Australian waters each year to feed our hungry nation. First, we make our way down the mangrove-lined channel and out towards the Gulf. Here, miles of shallow water with underwater islands of seagrass give food and shelter to an abundance of life. Breathtaking.
How'd you get involved yourself? I mean, did Dad teach you everything?
Yes, I've fished with Dad ever since I was this big. And then when I finished school, I was unsure on what I was going to do. And Dad said, well, why don't you come fishing until you work out what you want to do? And here I am 25 years later.
It's my job to keep an eye out for the fish. The aim is to find a school of feeding garfish before we deploy the net. That way we'll be sure of a good catch.
Be able to see the dark bodies contrasting against the lighter colour.
Yes.
But at this speed, you've got to have a practice eye to spot any fish.
There's a few guardies there. Guardies there, running.
A few more sightings and Shannon thinks she's found a sweet spot. Time to deploy the net.
So when I tell you, you throw the lead weight over, the net will run off. Now the big thing is, you get it around the propeller, you got to get it off.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
And then you got to make sure the lead line doesn't flick over the cool line.
Okay.
And I'll keep an eye on it.
So what are we looking
You'll
at?
make sure you stick it up on the back for him, Shane. Yeah. Rightio.
And there she goes. 550 metres of net coming off here. There's a few birds over there, so maybe there's a few fish in here as well.
The net and weight are attached to a buoy. Shannon heads out to create a large circle, a half a kilometre in circumference. The aim is to eventually head back to the buoy and join the two ends of the net together. In fisher lingo, it's called a shot. The bigger the shot, the more fish we can catch.
What's the prop, Shane?
Shannon uses the buoy as a reference as she figures out the size of a shot.
Don't worry about where I'm going this way so much. I'm watching the shape I've got in the net, basically.
It takes about 45 minutes to complete the shot and round off the circle.
So what do you want me to do?
Grab that pink buoy.
Yep.
Rightio, take that down the back.
Now we've got the completed ring, so
Yeah, we've got the completed ring.
nothing can get out?
Oh no, well you know, everything can still get out. Never say nothing can get out.
Okay.
As the motorised wheel hauls the net in, the circle gets smaller and smaller, driving the fish into the pocket below.
I'm surprised to notice there's no weed coming up that's not dead weed.
No, sometimes we have a lot of floating weeds.
But you're not ripping up the bottom.
No, most definitely not. We rely on the bottom so the fish come so we can catch them.
Yeah,
so,
okay, so this glides along the top.
Yep.
Okay.
My biggest concern with net fishing is meshing. That's when fish get tangled up in the net itself. It's indiscriminate and can kill the fish that aren't being targeted, but I'm not seeing any here. According to Shannon, these nets are designed to stop it.
This is a the idea of this is when we get to bunting up, pushing the fish into the pocket, they will hit this and they bounce off so they don't mesh. We don't want mesh fish in our
Okay, so you don't want them getting tangled up in here.
The idea is to sieve the fish through the pocket.
Okay.
So the smaller fish swim out and keep going. We want a sustainable fishery. We are responsible. We have a code of practice. And we want to have a fishery. We want our kids to all go fishing.
We're getting to the business end of the shot now. She's all coming in.
How you going with your corks, ET?
Yep. I see some fish in there now. The garis are just splashing around. There's a nice one up the top. And the idea is to get them all in the pocket.
So there you go. That's how we do it.
I'm now on the shallow waters of the Spencer Gulf. We've hauled in 600 metres of net. Our prize garfish are in sight.
So now we just sort the pocket out.
That's the trophy, what we're after. Beautiful big gar. Yeah, like a little mini marlin. And there's his bigger brother.
My next job, scoop the fish onto the sorting table.
Right, mixture of weed and gar, but there's a few in there.
It's all right.
Get rid of that.
Shannon sorts the fish quickly. This way, she only keeps the garfish. All other creatures are put back in the water while they're alive and healthy.
There's a couple of little puffers in there. The little puffer, where's he go?
Yes, he goes down the slippery dip and off he swims and we see him again another day.
Shannon has to balance speed with caution. The weed can hide some nasty surprises, like this venomous soldier fish.
The spines on one of those, that's sort of like the deadliest catch stuff. You'll be howling for a while.
Any garfish, we chuck them straight into the ice slurry.
That's basically salt water and ice
Salt
over
water
the
and
top.
ice, so the fish die very quickly.
Yep.
And keeps them in the best quality that they could possibly be.
Okay, so the flesh isn't stressed at all.
No,
so.
flesh is not stressed.
All right, beautiful.
Shannon believes net fishing is a dying art. The reason? Strict catch limits and small regulated fishing areas make it hard to turn a buck. It's also not an easy trade to learn. Getting it right takes time and years of local experience.
A lot of guys in the net fishery either are sons or deckhands that work for a long time. You wouldn't just go and buy a net licence and say, oh, well, I'll just go and catch fish.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that. A lot of people think that, oh, well, you got a net, you catch everything, and it is nothing like that.
So it's been passed down through generation, and the whole process is basically in your head.
You got to know what you're doing, and every day, like the tide might go, or the wind's too strong and the boat won't go round, and it can be very frustrating. But it also can be very rewarding. I guess you feel you're satisfied at the end of the day.
Fishers like Shannon really know their stuff and are working hard to keep their craft alive. I've got to say, today's given me a lot to think about.
The men and women of the South are said to have salt water running through their veins. They battle the elements, ride the ups and downs of changing fish stocks, catches, quotas.
These guys aren't just feeding Australia, they're feeding the world. From Sydney to Singapore, to Shanghai, Tokyo and beyond.
The pioneers of this industry really did it tough. Hopefully we can look after it enough and continue it on.
I'm a bloke who's been fishing for as long as I can remember, but working alongside commercial fishermen has taken me into another world.
We see ourselves as custodians of the estuaries. I mean, we all love it because we've got such beautiful access to a natural environment.
I'm impressed with how these fishers keep an eye on profit without compromising future sustainability.
They're the real saltwater heroes, battling the wild Southern Ocean for its riches and rewards.